Ready? Action.
Okay.
It's my favorite part. Okay, all the mics sound good? We're good to go?
Good to
And
go.
we're rolling? Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Great that we're here again for the second episode of the Real-ationships podcast. Today, we're talking to the guys about breakups. So on the podcast today, we have Darnel, we have Aaron, we have Colin, and, we're just going to kind of bring it to the barbershop and talk about what's going on.
And we got Ruth.
And me. That's right. Why didn't I introduce myself? And I'm going to be your host today. My name is Ruth.
And every day, no? Every day? You're the host every day?
Well,
You're
I think
Ruth every day?
we're gonna kind of keep moving it around. It's
Okay.
not always
Okay.
gonna be
Okay.
me. Sometimes
Nice.
it'll be Rose. Rose is also in the room,
What
and
up,
we
Rose?
got a few other people.
Nice.
So it's gonna be everybody. We're gonna keep switching it up.
Cool.
Keep it fresh. Keep it new.
Cool.
Okay, so what I was thinking is, since we're talking about breakups, I feel like I want to kind of get to know everybody, let the audience know everybody who's on the podcast today. And I figure sometimes because, breakups can be kind of tough, if we're thinking about if you've had a bad day, what are the things that you like to do if you have a bad day? What's your go-to activity to relax?
It's interesting. Might sound a little bit weird, but my go-to activity is taking my shoes off, going in the grass, and bird watching.
Nice.
That's real tough. I'm being real about that. That's what I like to do.
So what kind of birds are you looking for?
It doesn't even matter, just to connect with what's real, you know what I'm saying? And there's cardinals, there's blue jays.
You know what? Honestly, I have to say I really like that because for me, whenever I hear birds chirping, and it's funny because I watched this movie a while ago, and it's like where the birds are means it's like safety, So it's like anytime you hear birds, it's like a very calming sound to hear birds singing.
Yeah.
So I feel that putting
that's what it is.
putting your feet in the grass, kind of slowing
Just
down.
grounding myself and getting back to what's real.
Yeah, I hear that. What about you guys?
I'm big on. I'll just come home. I feel like I need to sit outside. I feel like I need. So even if it's like 40 degrees, I feel like I just need to sit outside for a bit. I just watch YouTube. Yeah.
Anything particular on YouTube?
Lately, I've been watching this series called Cinema Therapy, where they review movies and talk about how therapy is involved in it, and it's pretty much just a therapist talking to you for 30 minutes about like a movie you like or something. So they'll just go through like Black Panther, therapy in that, and it just feel like I'm sitting in somebody else's therapy appointment. It just chills me out,
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's the movie that you like? Maybe that they recently talked about that you thought, I didn't really see that in the movie.
Honestly, on my way here, because I'll just watch any of them. It was Monsters Inc.
Oh,
I will literally just go next now. And it'll be like Monsters Inc.
What's-
I haven't seen it since I was like 6 or
What's
something.
the therapy involved in Monsters Inc.?
It was I think it was
what was
talking
the
about like
takeaway?
supporting your friends through transitional stages and the difference between a friend and just a peripheral friend and supporting each other in your goals and evolving as people. It really brings out the deeper
good
meanings of like a million movies I watched as a kid where I was like, I didn't even clock that. I didn't even clock that, but you kind of feel it in something. So that's what I've been doing.
but you know what? Too, I think that's a good example because I think a lot of movies give certain lessons, and we kind of just have to be open
Yeah.
to hearing it. So the idea of supporting friends, knowing who's your friend and who's kind of a closer friend, and one's more on the outside, I think that's good to know.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going through sort of tough personal times. You want to
Yeah.
know who it is that you can talk to.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's got to watch Monster Inc. again.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's gonna hit different.
It's
Well,
gonna hit different, honestly. Yeah.
And what about you, Darnell?
Kind of the same as him, low key. I just go outside and I don't know, really just going outside, maybe going out for a walk or something like that. That's usually what I do, to just calm myself down.
All right.
Respect.
Cool. Yeah. So then I guess the other thing too is I feel like, always when you're relaxing, you're watching kind of nature or just chilling, you're also kind of listening. Like I think music is also something that, particularly when you're going through things in life, there's always that like one track or that one album that really hits home. So if you guys were to think about an album that you have to put on repeat, especially if something is like tough going on, what album or even like song would that be? And, you know, Colin, I know you on the side, like your passion is music.
Yes.
AKA Solar Sea.
Thank you for the plug.
All right. So what do you think? Like,
In terms of music, because it's so like wide, if you're talking about specifically if something is difficult, like what would I put on if there's challenges going on in my life? If I want to get introspective, this is also going to maybe be different, but I'll rock some Coldplay.
okay.
Real.
But if I am like trying to get, connected to like a sound, my go-to is probably Fantastic Volume 2 from Slum Village.
Okay.
Or maybe The Roots, Things Fall Apart. Those are like my two classic hip-hop, true school type creative albums that I'll go to. But in terms of, I like to build and stuff like that too. If I'm building, I'm gonna throw in some Coldplay where I could just have the sonic frequencies going in the background kind of thing.
Those are
where
good
I'm
picks. Those are good picks, honestly.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You can rock with some Coldplay.
Yeah.
You can
Like,
pick
why
anything.
can't we like Coldplay?
You
know
can
what I
pick
mean?
You can pick any Coldplay album from when they started to now, and it'll hit in a different way every time, but it'll still hit.
Yo, have you ever been to a Coldplay show?
No,
You ever
that's
been?
on the
Anybody
No.
ever been?
That's on the
I've
list.
It's on a
been.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give you like this wristband, and it like lights up and vibrates, so everybody like puts their hand up.
Oh.
Anyways,
That's cool.
I'm plugging Coldplay right now. It's intense.
Coldplay deep. I think for me, it's two come to mind. For pretty much the same purpose of when I just need to kind of just ground myself, and I think just hearing the same album that I know all the lyrics to, all the songs, it just chills me out. Are Alicia Keys' songs in A minor, like her second album, that one's fire, and I think it's Tupac, Me Against the World, which is like
It's classic.
I think like I would say it's like his most deep album in terms of like thoughtfulness and everything like that. And those kind of just like, I feel like I could just take a deep breath and I know everything that's happening in the album and everything. I think that just helps me lock in. Yeah.
I think for me, I either got to go with like Drake. Like you can never go wrong with Drake. I say from like any song from the Take Care album. I'm gonna be honest. Like I would say Take Care. What else? Like I don't know. Either Drake or like Bryson Tiller. That's usually what I listen to if I'm like going through something.
Yeah, and I think for me, thinking about like a classic album, it's always The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like
Can't go wrong with
from
that, yo.
from beginning to
The whole
end,
thing.
every
Yeah.
track hits. And it's like I feel like even she's always just talking about, love. She's talking about the breakup. She's talking about the feelings after the breakup, thinking about also like the relationship and all the complicated feelings that go on.
One thing from that album too that's like kind of a lost art is the interludes.
Oh, yes.
Because they're like in the
yeah.
classroom and they're talking about love.
Yeah.
And they're like, what does love mean to you?
Yeah.
That album's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. Because there's one part in it and they ask any songs. And that might be interesting to know. Any songs that have love in the title. And I remember there's one kid and they're like, yeah. I know a song with love. And then they're like, hey, how does it go? And he's like, it go, love.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was fully just making up the song at the time.
That's so funny.
But yeah, like I think it's always like, okay, we're talking about songs for if you're feeling kind of down or you're going through something heavy, but also like what's the hype song that you'd listen to?
Yeah.
Because I think that's also important,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
sometimes if you're feeling down, you kind of want something that's gonna kind of,
I got one for both. If You Love Me by Brownstone.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
That works for
That's-
both. That works to hype me up and to make me go, oh, you know?
Yeah. Brownstone's a classic too.
Yeah.
To get hype,
Yeah.
it has to be Andy Up by MOP for me.
Oh.
Either that one or I'm Back to Slum Village.
Okay.
For what's the name of the song, man? Dun, 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 dun. You know that song? Raise It Up. There we go. Raise It Up. Raise It Up from Slum Village. You guys know that one? No. Sorry.
For a second, I was like, should I lie? I was like, no,
No,
it's good.
but it's
This is gonna bite
heavy.
me.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Okay.
But it's
Put
good
it on
because
the
I feel
list.
like also too then it's like you get to kind of learn about other music that
Yeah.
would work and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could listen to and kind of open up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we kind of have an idea of where we are, like who you guys each are in terms of music taste and thinking through like, the broad spectrum or genres of music that you can listen to that kind of, and what you like to do when you're kind of feeling like your day is kind of tough. So because of the fact that we said we wanted to really talk about breakups today, for guys, I thought I would go over some like sort of like kind of fast reactions for you guys, right? And you let me know what you think of each of the things that I'm saying. And I kind of guess like we'll kind of label them as like guy myths, right? Okay. So again, first reaction, what you think. The first one being real men don't cry after breakups.
It's fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And why? Like why?
Because we do sometimes.
Like,
It's real.
yeah. I mean, like, I feel like people have it in their head that guys are only supposed to cry when like somebody like dies or like at a funeral or something, and it's like that's just not healthy. Like it's not healthy, and it's an emotional response. And I'm like, if you've had like the worst and you've gotten broken up with, you didn't see it coming and you're really enjoying yourself, or it's just hard. I mean, like it's a sign that you cared about it. I mean, if anything, like if I'm not crying about it, it probably means I'm not that phased by it. And it's not that
Yeah, like,
hard.
You don't even like care about it and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think everyone. I mean, I get some people are gonna be like, "Well, I've never cried at something." It's like, well, did your dad ever cry at anything? Because that doesn't mean you're a real man. It might just be that's how you grew up, and that's you were taught that you weren't supposed to. You weren't supposed to cry. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Or the expectation is that we don't connect with that side that frequently. But I'm sure behind closed doors, like all of us, any dude's gonna cry if their feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
As a human, you know what I mean? Like I think it's only natural to feel, if you're like truly connected, it's only natural to feel that emotion. So I think like we should aspire to be able to be okay with
Showing
crying.
emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because I
there's
think
nothing wrong with that.
I think like there's this perception that guys only when they're showing emotion, it's only anger. Or, being silent. But I think showing emotion is okay. And I think that's also part of having a healthy relationship and also just expressing yourself when things happen. So, all right, cool. We know that that's like a myth in terms of guys not crying. So what about if they moved on fast? If like, let's say your ex moved on fast, it means they never cared.
If they moved on fast,
It kind of depends it kind of depends though. Like,
Yeah.
how fast did she move on? Because I can't lie, like, I remember I was like I'm not gonna say it was like in a relationship. It's kind of like what we talked about like in the last episode and stuff like that. It was like a talking stage or whatnot. That was like maybe 3 months, I think. That was like a 3-month talking stage or whatnot. And then I don't know. Eventually, she just randomly got dry and stuff like that. And then after that, she ended up moving on to someone else. She ended up dating someone else, maybe like 3 days. And I was like, damn.
3 days.
Yeah, it was like 3 days. It was like 3 days. I randomly checked her Instagram. Like it was a picture of her and some dude like holding hands. I'm like, oh my god.
I think it's
I
tough
couldn't
because
believe it.
I feel like with a lot of people, it does depend on the nature of the relationship. And I think when you start moving on to like longer relationships and knowing like, okay, it's kind of been dead for a while and you're kind of just staying together, and it is very subjective on the relationship. But I feel like it's tough because you sometimes don't need to do that in the person's face or do that publicly to be like, hey, I don't care anymore. You know, like you checking Instagram and there's something 3 days later. I feel like I would feel kind of bad doing anything to be like, look how great I'm doing without you. Like I think I'd wait like a few weeks grace period or something.
Yeah, it was like 3 days. She was like, I don't know, I kind of just want to like take a break type of stuff. And I was like, hey, that's perfectly fine. And it was like 2-3 days later, I see her like with some other dude on her Instagram. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I guess like, I mean, I'm not gonna say like she didn't really care, cause like what that relationship, it ended up lasting like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna cap. And that was like an actual relationship too. And then she ends up texting me back. She's like saying like how like, oh, I do care about your feelings, but it's like, do you though?
Yeah, it's
like-
tough because it's like I can respect that you care about me, but if you're doing things like posting this on social media, knowing I'm gonna see it, you're not having a lot of empathy for me in the transition from us being together to us not being together anymore. You know.
I would just feel like I wasn't the one.
Yeah, that's real.
Like
That's real.
straight down to it. Like if you're gonna just move on like that, it means that it didn't mean as much to you as it meant to me. So yeah, I wasn't the one. I'm gonna try and fill the void with something else now and pick up the pieces.
So actually, no, but you know what? That's actually a great segue, Colin, into the next question, which is getting a new partner is the best way to get over the old one.
100%. Not only, no, for real. Not only partners, but like everything in life, yo. Like if I want to get negative thoughts out of my head, I have to put positive ones in there or different ones in there that I want. So it's the same thing with a relationship. If I want to not necessarily erase, but I want to move on emotionally, I have to find these new positive emotions in a relationship that I want to like focus on and have that at the forefront of my thoughts.
Yeah. I think it's I think I'm always a big advocate for like definitely take some time to yourself and like figure out how to, you know, do your own thing. But I also think that moving, like being able to move on to someone else, you're able to take a lot of the things you learned from the relationship in terms of whether it's like cohabitating, living with somebody else or compromising and stuff like that. And then being able to apply the positives of your past experiences to actually reaping the benefits of, oh, this is how I actually want to be treated in a relationship and experiencing that. So I think it's, I mean, I know for a lot of people, it's like you need to fully get over your ex before you're with somebody else. And it's like, how do you even know?
How do you do that?
How do you even fully know you're over somebody? And there are certain things where it's like, I'm not going to be able to get over this until I understand not everybody is like this. Because a lot of people get into the mindset of, well, I just don't want to date again because I don't want X to happen to me again. And half of my friends who I talk to, I'm like, that thing that happened to you isn't as common as you probably think it is. It's the person. It's not because you were in a relationship and this happened. It's because you were in a relationship with the wrong person. So I feel like a lot of people are like, well, I need way more time to myself because I had this bad experience. And I get that, but I'm also kind of like, it's not necessarily going to happen the exact same way again. And the longer you spend by yourself, you might just keep thinking, oh, it's going to be another repeat and I just need to get used to that or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, that's low-key kind of like a good like representative kind of, because I remember I got out of a pretty toxic relationship. I'll probably talk a lot about that like later. But I can't lie, that relationship really like messed me up. I don't think I talked to a single girl maybe for about, I talked to a girl. So the thing happened in March. No, not March, April. Yeah, it was April. I didn't talk to a single girl until October. That's how bad it was, because I was just like traumatized from that whole experience. So like, I don't know. And then it was like around October, kind of like maybe like mid-September, sort of. Like that's kind of when I started like, you know, talking to like people again and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know. I guess like you kind of do have to like take some time to yourself. I wouldn't necessarily say that getting into a relationship right away is like the best thing to do, but I don't know. It's like at the same time, I mean, I don't know.
But I feel like, yeah, a couple of things you guys brought up is important. Like I like the idea of saying if you're experiencing sort of negative thoughts or negative emotions, you have to try and balance or counter that, excuse me, with positive ones. So I really like kind of like what you were saying there, and Aaron talking about, you know, kind of like this idea that if you're in a relationship and it's not going well, some people do need to stay by themselves for a bit or are not ready to get into another thing. And I always think, healing is a really important part of dating and then understanding breakups and then moving on to a next relationship. But I also think that sometimes you're not necessarily going to know that you're fully healed or what you might still need to work on unless you're in another relationship because you're not exposed sort of to the experience. So it's like a balance of, I think, kind of a combination of what you guys are saying in terms of, taking time for yourself, thinking about putting in those sort of positive, I think experiences, affirmations, everything. And also not thinking because you had this one bad experience that it means that every relationship is going to be that way. And I kind of think when you hear often guys talk, it's like, I had this one really tough relationship. And from that, I'm writing off all girls or I'm writing off all people I'm dating. And, this is not like...
Yeah, it's not
that's insane. I can't lie, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
it's not helpful.
Like doing all that, it's like,
Yeah.
not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like one bad experience with a girl and then like, cause I remember it was who was it? I think it was my friend's older brother. He got into a really, really bad relationship. Like it was toxic. Like it ended really, really bad. And then he was saying, because this happened, every girl like in the future, I'm gonna do them wrong. I'm gonna like cheat, all that. I'm like, and mind you, that toxic relationship happened when he was 17, like 16, 17.
That's brutal.
This guy's like 24. I can't lie. Like, yeah, it's bad, but you low-key kind of gotta let it go. Like, just let it go.
After 7 years and it's
Like-
high school and I'm there's a lot of guys who also think that because one girl screwed me over, I'm not gonna trust any women around me as much, even if it's girls you're not dating. And it's just now you have this idea of women and everything, but it's the same thing happens on women's end where you could say like, okay, well, I don't trust any guys anymore.
Yeah.
That's not helpful for any of us, but 7 years is...
Yeah, like, can we really, I really honestly want to unpack this because I think that this is something that oftentimes you hear, and then the person who's coming next to date you then gets sort of this person who is saying that they're emotionally scarred forever. And then they're not wanting to open up in that way. So I kind of feel like if you guys were giving advice to guys about if you really care deeply about the person you're dating and it's, kind of now ended, what would you say to them so that they know not to take, like, not that one experience is going to be the defining experience that now shapes how they treat everybody else after?
What? Sorry, say that again.
So, like,
what advice would you give them?
Yeah, if let's say they've had a really tough breakup, and they're now now they're going to start dating other people. What advice would you give them so that they don't sort of see their ex in everybody that they're dating?
I would say for me, it would be healing from that can come from yourself. In you're taking time, you're picking yourself back up and accepting that not everything's your fault and maybe I can do better. Healing can also come from a future partner of seeing, I can actually rebuild this trust again with somebody. I can trust somebody who's not going to screw me over in the same way and can look after me. But a lot of healing can also come from therapy. If you are that down and out over something and you are feeling like I don't have the capacity to trust anybody, and every time I go on a date, I'm going to immediately have my guard up and be looking for the bad signs, then my guy, you probably need professional help. And I know for a lot of people, it can come in the form of like, role models, your like family members, your boys. But sometimes if you don't have a good enough social circle to look after you, sometimes you need a little bit of therapy to make it a lot easier on yourself and your future partner.
Okay. And that's okay to do, right? If it's somebody that you need to talk to, if
it's that intense, yeah. Like if your mental health is fully being compromised, then you know what I mean. You're not doing your regular, you're not bathing, you're not eating,
Yeah.
then you need to see somebody about that. But I would say the advice that I would give is to just be real about it and communicate wherever space, whatever space you're in with whoever it is you're
Yeah.
getting into a relationship with, so that they know that, you know what I mean? I'm not crazy. I'm just still in the process of healing, and if you have the time and space to deal with me while I'm going through this, then you're probably gonna be the one for me. If not, then yeah, I'm back to square one. I'm not bathing and eating. You know?
And that gives them the agency to say, okay, you know what, I don't have the capacity for that.
Yeah.
And they can move on with their life. You can say, okay,
Exactly.
that's nice. But if
It's
the
communication.
relationship keeps going, you can easily be like, well, this was communicated. You know what's going on with me.
Right.
It doesn't excuse your behavior, but it's kind of like
It makes sense.
This isn't fully me. This is me at a transitional period, and things will get better over time. But you know what to expect at that point.
I say get a hobby too. Like take
Yeah.
something up, man. Like express yourself somewhere else. It doesn't always have to be in a relationship. That you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I like that idea of just being upfront with the person that you're now starting to date or talk to say, yeah, I've been going through some things, and like I'm just letting you know this is where I'm at. Because then I think it gives that person the option to decide, as Aaron said, whether or not they would like to start dating you.
And I feel like as humans, we want to be helpful to each other. So like when you hear somebody is going through something, you kind of want to be able to be there for them in some capacity. So
Yeah.
Okay. You have any
I
thoughts
really
on?
don't like. He pretty much answered. He pretty
Okay.
much answered the question. to be honest.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So, what about this next one? You always need to get closure from your ex.
No.
No.
I'm just gonna immediately. I think there's a lot of situations where people need closure, but I also think that you needing closure can open the door to you being hurt again. Because if I feel like some people want to live in a perfect world of, oh, we broke up, we're gonna go back 2 weeks later and we're gonna have a very calm conversation. We're gonna be respectful of each other, and we're gonna shake hands and leave things and go, we left each other better than we came into this. But that does not happen a lot of the time. And a lot of the time people will use a closure situation to attack the person. And I've had times where an ex we've said our piece and then we've gone our separate ways and then we came back again. And then they had more ammunition because I've been thinking about it for a few weeks of the things I didn't like about you. And there's a lot of things where I'm like, this isn't even relevant. And now I've left this situation even more insecure about other things that don't have to do with the relationship as much and stuff like that. And I think experiences like that taught me, I was like, I don't think I always need it. Sometimes I just need to be able to go, you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes I don't need to have all of my questions or things answered, because even if you're looking for the closure, you may never get it from that person. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of have like an experience kind of something similar. So it's like the relationship I was talking about before. Like, so basically I got cheated on or whatnot, and it was maybe about in June. So I got cheated on in April. She came back in June. She was like, oh, is it cool if like we talk like in person so we can have like closure and whatnot? And I was like, what do you want closure on? Like, it's already over.
So you can forgive her for her cheating on you?
Like I don't know what
You might not get that.
I don't know what she was asking, because like the way she cheated, no, it was insane. Like,
That's awful.
and it's just like, and she was like, oh, like I just want us to have like a one-on-one conversation. I just want closure. I just want us to, be able to say that we officially broke up. We've been broke up since since
you cheated.
Since you cheated.
Yeah.
You've been single since you cheated. I don't need nothing from you.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I had some of her friends like attacking me too, like saying that like, oh, why don't you just like go talk to her? And it's like,
That's none of their business.
No.
I'm not a fan of when people need to get involved to be like, well, they really need something. It's like, okay, if we sit down and think about who needs what, the cheater needs less than I do right now.
Yeah.
I do not need to be communicating with this person. It's tough when it seems like it's like, I feel like we're having this closure meeting for you, not for both of us. This is for you, you know?
that's
Yeah.
pretty much it, Bear.
You know?
Yeah. So then I think, so when we're thinking about closure conversations, I think really if you're looking to have those conversations, it's what does it benefit for you, right? Like, I think you have to always be thinking about how is it going to impact you if you're going in to have this conversation with an ex. Because if it's just for the other person and it's going to cause more harm to you, then it's probably best not to even bother to engage with the conversation. Okay, so then moving on to the next one, the last one in this quick fire, which hasn't been that quick, is blocking your ex is petty.
Blocking your ex is preserving your peace. That's what I think. Is that petty?
No.
I don't know, low key.
I think it's
Really 50-50, low
It's
key.
50-50 for me sometimes because I've had times where I broke up with someone and a few months later, I just realized that I was blocked on everything and I was like, I wasn't reaching out to you or anything. So I did find it weird because sometimes it sends a message of, I want nothing at all. And sometimes it can be kind of jarring, but I get for some people, it's like, you really do just, I want to pretend this person doesn't exist and everything.
Right, so it depends on, it is 50-50 because it depends on if you initiated the breakup or if you were the one receiving the breakup. If you're receiving it, you're going to want to block them.
Yeah.
If you didn't do it, you're probably going to be like, yes, whatever.
Or if the person's blowing up your phone, I completely get if the person blow up your phone, they're not understand the boundaries.
Yeah,
here's now the worst boundary, but I think a lot of people sometimes use it as a statement
Like a
instead
communication
of to
piece.
be like, this is how much I hate you right now. I feel like some people do it out of spite instead of just okay, I just want to preserve my peace. And so I've noticed that sometimes where I am like, why am I bored? Or I've had some of my friends who were like, why did so-and-so block me? And I'm like, I don't know. I thought you guys were friends. I don't really know. And it's kind of, I think it bothers me more when I see people I'm connected to get blocked by somebody because I'm like, well, didn't you have your own relationship with that person? I get it if it's like my brother, but if it's like a friend of a friend, I'm like, you really don't want any reminders that I exist. And I guess some people, that's how they move when they break up, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because, I think the whole, blocking is just how important the social media kind of platform plays into relationships and kind of what happens and what goes on. So it's like even, you might block somebody on social media, but what happens when you see them in person?
It's terrifying. It's terrifying to me. I've never actually experienced that, but the thought of that terrifies
it's
me.
low key scary.
And it's I don't even when people are like, well, what are you afraid of? I'm like, I don't know. That's why I have no clue what the interaction will be like because you haven't seen that person in so long. You don't know what kind of animosity they still have or have built up in their head because I think when you break up with someone, one of two things happen over time. Either you get more and more okay with it and go, you know what? Person wasn't as bad as I'm making them out to be. We just weren't matched together. But some people get more and more mad over time and just go like, this person is the devil and is the worst person ever. And if I see them again, I'm going to like ream them out. And I think I'm always terrified that I'm being perceived as, not that I think I'm acting like the devil, but I think I'm always terrified that I'm going to get like cussed out in the street or something by an ex. Yeah.
Okay, well then this actually kind of leads really well into sort of the next section of our podcast here in terms of kind of some of the questions that we had come in over social media. And one of the ones that people were asking was, how do I get over my ex if I still see them at school every day?
I feel like
I feel
it's
like
perfect for you
right.
at this stage of your life.
So I'm not gonna lie. It was probably like it was my sophomore year. So I got into like a relationship. I was with this one girl. We ended up breaking up. We got together my freshman year, and then we broke up maybe 2 months into my sophomore year. So I was still seeing her like every single day, and I can't lie, it was just really, really awkward whenever I see her because like not only was it her who'd kind of like give me dirty looks and stuff, it was her friends as well. So like I don't know, I feel like that was just really like something really, really awkward and stuff like that. I honestly I don't know how I even got through it, to be honest. It kind of got to a point where it's like maybe the first 2 weeks it was, awkward and stuff like that. And then like soon enough I was just like, you know what, I can't lie. I kind of got other stuff to worry about. So, I guess it gets to a point where sometimes you just have to put your headphones on and just pretend that they don't even exist. I guess that's really the best advice.
In high school especially, because I feel like if we put that towards a lot of later stages in life and it doesn't work as well, just be like, just ignore the person. But I feel like when you are at that age and there's like that many people in school, sometimes it is just, I'm just going to put my head down and not make eye contact if I know that it's kind of like a hostile connection. Because I remember having an ex in high school, and I think it was the day or two after we split up, I went into the cafeteria, and she was like in the middle of the cafeteria, like bawling her eyes out. And I remember walking 2 feet in and then walking straight out because I was like, I am not doing this today. I am not going to be able to be like a couple tables over, like, so what do you have for lunch today? And we're just like chilling because I'm like, it's just a weird scene. So I think
like all of her friends like surrounding her. And
yeah,
stuff
no,
too,
and you're just like, you know what? I think this is gonna be the day that I go get lunch at Tim Hortons or something, and I
feel it.
avoid the situation as much as I can.
Feel it.
Yeah.
You're gonna say anything?
No, I got nothing. Maybe just time. Just what they said.
Yeah.
Time is gonna be the component here.
I know. I think so too. And I also think like, yeah, there's other things that you just have to try and kind of focus on when you are in school. And I guess the other thing too, I'm thinking even Darnel with what you're saying is as awkward as it might be, you were okay. In the end, you were okay. The period passes of awkwardness or of you feeling, sort of those like maybe not butterflies, but feeling that it's tough when you see that person. Eventually, it passes and you kind of focus on other things. You're with your friends or you're doing other things in school. And so it's not something after a while that really kind of feels as awkward. But I think it's also just kind of a good lesson in that some things you really can't avoid. Sometimes you just have to face it. And I think one of the things with breakups that it's good for everyone to learn early is you have to go through it. You can't go around it. So you just kind of have to feel the emotions that you feel, go through the awkwardness if you're feeling upset and things like that. And then, eventually you work through it and then you realize, okay, that wasn't so bad, because inevitably I think everybody deals with a breakup when you decide to date.
Yeah. I have a question to piggyback off of that question. And I feel like you could probably answer this pretty well. But not only how would you handle seeing the person every day after a breakup, how would you handle seeing the person every day with somebody else after the breakup? Not that I'm saying you've experienced it, but how would you? Because I know that I experienced it in high school, so I want to know how you feel.
Would it not help the healing process? Because it's right in your face. You know that.
I feel like it. When you
don't
say
know.
it makes sense, but it
makes
doesn't,
sense, but
and
like
it
I feel like
sucks at
if
the
I were
same
to see that,
I feel like punching a wall. I'm not gonna lie.
at first probably, but then wouldn't it
Eventually I
like
get
speed
used
it
to
up?
it,
Because now you know there's no chance of like any of this
Yeah.
happening again.
I think it's now become uncomfortable, but not as emotionally involved. 'Cause
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about the person's feelings as much because, okay, you have somebody else. But now it's a little more uncomfortable for you in a way where it's like, now I need to, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now you're with somebody else and now I have my own insecurities about this and this. And you might be comparing yourself to the new guy and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, it does help because you're kind of like, oh, my responsibility is done.
Yeah, you
I know
don't
you're not gonna contact me because your man is gonna be livid if you contact me again. So I know that it's
The door's closed.
Yeah.
the door is closed. Yeah, that is the nice part about it.
It's funny though, but kind of being a little maybe cheeky here, but is the door always like, do guys always think the door is really closed if they see,
Some don't.
with another guy, or is it thinking
depends-
I'm going to win
Depends on what
the
you
person
want.
back?
Yeah.
Depends
It
on what you want out of the relationship.
And it really depends, like if you still like feel that connection with the girl too.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm very big on as soon as breakup happened, the door is completely closed. And I've always said to my exes, like, if we can be respectful and be friends, especially if you have mutual friends. I like trying that, but I'm always the relationship is never going back to what it was before.
Okay.
Because if either of us were like, nah, I don't really want to be with you anymore, especially when you're at that age, it's kind of like, this is probably a sign it's not working.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to it. But yeah, I don't like to say that the door is completely closed to any relationship or connection with the person, but I do like to say the romantic door is closed for me as soon as it's over.
Okay, so I think this is actually a good segue into the next question we got, which is, should I text my ex or try to stay friends?
Oh, my boy, I've tried it.
I tried it too.
I'm not gonna
Doesn't
lie.
work.
I think I'm 4 for 4 having tried it of trying to be friends, and it just didn't work each time for different reasons. I think in some worlds it works, but I also know that my girlfriend right now has said she's so glad that I'm not friends with any of my exes because it would make her feel some type of way. And I realize that for a lot of people it might be like, well, it shouldn't bother her at all. But I do think sometimes it doesn't work as a friendship because it allows you to, develop new connections and stuff. But what do you guys think about that?
Hold on. What was the question again? I was thinking about like a lot.
Yeah, so should I text my ex or try to stay friends?
Low-key, no. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I don't know. I guess like unless if you guys both, I mean, at the same time, you really wouldn't know. Like if both of you guys would end up getting together, because I don't know if it's like some like it could be like some fairy tale. You guys end up breaking up, you guys stay friends and stuff like that. You guys end up catching feelings again, blah blah blah. Y'all end up that type of stuff. That doesn't always happen, and I'm not gonna lie. Like if I was still friends with my ex and whatnot, and then she tried asking me for advice so she can get on someone else.
Oh.
I would hate that. I
Yeah.
can't lie, and I'd be like. Nah, me personally, like I've never been through that. I know some people who have been through that, and they say it's like a really bad feeling. Me personally, I wouldn't want to go through that. And I guess like there was one ex that we did try, being friends and stuff like that. But I don't know. We just ended up catching feelings for each other. We ended up thinking that we could go back to how things were, but yeah, it just doesn't work. So.
I'm a hard no.
Yeah,
I'm a hard no.
low-key.
And unless you got like kids involved or something, there's no reason to continue trying to beat a dead horse here. If it didn't work, it didn't work. So
I think kids does make a big.
You know what I mean? Then
I
we
mean, like I
gotta-
think it's obvious, but it does because you need your kids to see that there's not
Yeah.
animosity, or else that messes their relationship up.
right. But outside of that, like, why would I? The only reason I would be texting or trying to stay friends is because I want the door to still be open. I have some type of emotional connection still that I want to potentially revisit and leave that as an option. So that's gonna like hold me back from, getting with my next relationship or whoever I'm like
Yeah.
shortchanging the new relationship because I'm trying to be friends with my ex. It's it's a hard no for me.
Yeah, and I think it's good, like in terms of kind of what I'm hearing you guys saying is just kind of keeping it clean. If the breakup happened, it's better just to break it off so that there's no kind of confusion, which it's funny because I think that's actually something that comes up a bit later. But anyways, I'm going to move on to the next question that we got was, so the person wrote in, I felt things weren't going right, so I broke up with her, but I still feel bummed about it and kind of miss her. So what do you,
fair.
right? I think it's
natural.
fair.
I've had several breakups where we broke up, and then a month later, my brain just rewired to develop a new rationalization for why I gave up too easily or why the person wasn't that bad. And I think, luckily, I am too prideful to even go back because I don't want to be like, I made a mistake in breaking up with you, because that just, I feel like in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to look so stupid. I can't even do it. So that kind of,
especially if she already moved on too.
it's true. It's true. So it kind of helped me push through those uncomfortable feelings. And then as time went on, I went, oh yeah, that was just my brain playing tricks on me. And I'm just thinking things, but it's normal. I mean, like it's, especially after you break up, you haven't seen the person for months. It's kind of like a twisted version of, like what's that saying? Like distance makes love
Oh,
fonder.
yeah,
Absence makes the
absence
heart
makes
grow
the
fonder.
heart.
Yeah, and it's kind of like people think like, oh, well, I haven't seen them in a while, but it's also like, yeah, you're forgetting the worst parts of that person,
Straight up.
and now idealizing the best parts of them and everything. So you're gonna go through those tough times and thinking, oh well, but it's also helpful because you can go through those times and be a little more empathetic to your ex and go, you know what, I could have done better in these ways as well. That doesn't mean I need to try again with the person, but it means that I can try better in the future with other people.
Yeah.
But I think you brought up something that I think does happen. What if you did make a mistake? What if you broke
Yeah.
up with the person and then you realize, oh my gosh, I made a mistake? Like, I think that happens.
Yeah.
So what happens?
So what causes? The question is, what caused this brother to realize that he made the mistake?
Well, true, but what happens if
Like,
even
is
if
it because he was with somebody who was after the fact, who was not like?
or yeah, or maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe there was like a heated argument or something and you decided, you know what, this isn't working, let's just finish, like we're done. And then you think, shoot, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have actually done
I
that.
think it's okay going back to them and saying that, because that's honest and that's human. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's like, yo, you go and you check somebody else and you're like comparing, you know what I mean? But it's like, then
I'm not
that's not
satisfied
fair.
with
Yeah.
this new person like I was.
Yeah,
with
you
my
know what? I
ex.
could deal with you. So that's not cool. But if it's
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean, something that they're dealing with and it translates onto their whoever they're with, it's okay to come out and talk to them and just be honest. Let them know where you're at, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
All right. What do you think?
I mean, low key, like, if you actually did make a mistake, then yeah, you really should, because I don't know, you wouldn't want to like lose that person, especially if you genuinely feel like that that's your person. Yeah, you would not want to lose that, because I've had like some friends who've like, they were like dating someone, they saw like, one bad sign or something like that, and then they immediately cut it off. And it's probably like maybe like a week later, they're like, yo, I actually messed up. And like they're like still debating if they want to go back or not, cause I don't know, I guess they can kind of like see what they would look like coming back and stuff like that too. Like they could see it from like the girl's perspective, like getting that random text being like, yo, I messed up. Like, is it cool if we like try again? Stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like as a guy, I feel like most guys, they wouldn't go for it. Only because, I don't know, they just kind of want to like keep
agree.
that like, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
I don't.
I feel like even if you can say it's probably like I would say if you feel like you made a mistake, it's a good thing to communicate that to the person. It doesn't need to be for the needs of I want to get back to you, but it could be if you've done something wrong and you think that it's going to affect them long term. It's I would say it's your responsibility to clarify and say, you know what, I popped off a little too quick, or I said something that was too personal. I didn't mean that because either I do want to try and repair this thing with you, or I don't want you to take that into the future with you, and this messes you up forever. But I would say, including me, a lot of guys are too prideful to do that. I mean, like, I don't think I've ever been.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in this scenario where I've ever rushedly broken up with somebody. I think I'm more the type of person who lets issues go on for too long and then breaks up. But I think a lot of guys who do pop off and just kind of possibly like ruin something that they're enjoying because,
Yeah, then it's like,
it's tough.
and it's like, and that's kind of where it goes on, where it's like, that's the person who like got away. That's like the girl who got away or something like that.
And then
We're
you're
like,
comparing every future girl to that one.
yeah, it's like no matter
tough.
what girl
Yeah.
it is, like that one girl is gonna be in the back of your mind all the time.
Yeah.
And, like
Yeah.
that does, like, I don't know. At least with me, there's only, I don't know if I should even like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna leak it. So there's one girl. There's one specific girl. There's one specific girl that actually might have been the one, but like the thing is,
It's okay. Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like with me, it's like that's like that one girl that actually got away because, like, it's like she's the one that got away. But the thing is, we like never dated either. It's just like I don't know. I guess like with me, it's like I just never made like a move. She never made a move, and like eventually she ended up moving on and stuff like that.
It was
And,
a
like,
crush. You had a
Yeah, it
crush
was really
on
just
somebody.
crush. No, it was like we had a crush on each other, but like
But
we just-
nobody.
no one did anything
Yeah.
about it. And
Yeah.
then nowadays,
That
like I don't
happens.
really think about her, but like it's just the back of my head is just like that's the one that got away and stuff like that.
What
Where it's
might
like
have been type of
yeah,
vibes.
yeah, might have been.
So then, like, that actually, again, leads to the next question that we had, which is, how do I stop thinking about her all the time?
Ooh.
Which, I mean, I think is a fair question that a lot of people feel after a
You
breakup,
gotta
right?
find a real one.
Think about somebody else.
Yeah, you
Is
gotta
the best
get
thing
your
I
real
would
one.
say. Think
Yeah.
about, try and think, because, yeah, some people, I know that for me, people say, well, you need to take a lot of time to yourself. But for me, it is, I need to be thinking about someone else. And it doesn't need to be, this is my new soulmate or anything. But
Yeah.
I need to have my energy like thinking about something else, or I'm just going to be sitting in the negativity of the past thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean I need to like get a new girlfriend within like 3 days or something. But sometimes it is
Post it
just,
on Instagram.
yeah. Sometimes it is just,
All right.
you're thinking about like, oh, you know what, that girl that I work with is kind of cute, and you're just like thinking about that,
Yeah.
and flexing that there's a world outside of this past person, you know?
Yeah, you gotta get back outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is, how long does it take to get over a breakup?
Oh man, that depends.
Yeah.
Not, I mean,
Depends.
there is a specific time, but at the same time, there really isn't.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie, you cannot still be stuck on someone when it's been, like, 7 years, like I mentioned before. Like, you can't be still
Yeah.
stuck up on that one specific breakup that really, like, messed you up, like, mentally and stuff like that. And it's already been, like, 7 years. Yeah, you can kind of still think about it. Like, what? When I got cheated on, that happened, like, a year ago. And sometimes, like, it still kind of, like, crosses, like, the back of my head and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, that really happened. But, like, it doesn't happen like too frequently where I'm just like, oh, ever since this happened, I'm gonna be treating every single girl like a specific way. It's like I can't lie, you're kind of doing a little too much. You're in a little too deep. You kind of gotta relax. And it's just like I don't know. There's not really a specific amount of time where you have to get over a breakup, but it's like I don't know. There really is, like at the same time.
I think we could rephrase the question as to how much time is too much time to get over
Yeah.
a relationship.
I think over a year.
Anything over a year.
I think
low-key.
anything over a year, because I get that some people do need months, and even some relationships in high school, you're dating the person for like a few years, and that takes a while to kind of adjust to being on your own, living your own life and everything. But once you're getting over a year,
Yeah.
I would have to say like, what's going on? Like, is there something else at play? Do you need to talk to somebody? Because it's like, what is the thing that's holding you back from like from getting back to who you were before or doing your? And that doesn't mean that you need to have a new relationship to be over somebody, but it's just to have the confidence to be like, I'm not thinking about this anymore. I'm not bothered. I'm essentially back to doing life as if I wasn't dating this person.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a great way of reframing what it is that what it is that they're asking, how much time is too much time. Because I think even if you choose to say, okay, you don't really want to date anybody anymore, but you're getting back to yourself, I think that's the most important thing. And you don't want to be sort of caught up in the past because it's the past.
Right.
You want to be living in the present and sort of thinking towards the future. And if you're still kind of harping on that relationship that was maybe like a year ago or whenever, you're still in the past and it's done.
Yeah.
Right? So I think actually, that's a great way,
year is a
Colin,
good one.
of rethinking the question that came in. Okay.
Sorry.
Go
Last
ahead.
thing I was gonna say is, do
Yeah.
you know some people calculate how long they think it's supposed to take?
Yeah.
Like there's like a math solution. Some
There's
people
like an
use
app for
to
that or
be like,
something?
some people would be like, it's the amount of time you were together divided by blah blah blah. It's how long
gosh.
it'll take to get over. And it's really strange because I have heard people say that before, and I'm like, that's a really strange way
That's
to think
doing too
about.
much.
And I think,
It is.
Yeah. And, and
is.
it's
Where
hard.
it's like, well, we were together for 3 years, so that means that it'll take me 8 to 10 months to get it. And I'm
I
like,
think
oh my god.
each season, each season, you got to go through each season without, what I mean?
agree.
And
I
then
agree.
so you have like new memories for each
That is
season
a
and you're
good.
good.
That is
Yeah.
a good way to
Nah,
think
that's a
about
really
it
good
because
method. That's a
your
good
first.
method.
It is tough when you're like, okay, this is the first Christmas
Yeah,
where I'm
man.
without this person. As soon as you get through all the seasons, you are kind of like, okay, I'm not thinking about the summer with her.
Right.
I'm thinking about the last summer that had. That is a very good way of putting it.
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
that's one thing we got to keep. is thinking about seasons, and also I think you're also saying kind of certain milestones or holidays that you go through that you can
Yeah.
make new memories. That's
Is
that's
that why the
actually a
Boys
great
to Men
idea.
song is called Seasons of Loneliness?
Oh, maybe. Actually,
Because they're
funny enough.
experiencing each season alone for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Maybe you just came up with something there.
Dang. Wow.
Boys to Men is actually another, like, that's like my group that I loved. I remember when they came to Toronto and I saw them, and it's like there's so many.
You went?
Yeah,
Who
man.
else? Who
That
else
was like
I
when
saw
much
them.
music.
I saw them last year with my dad.
Oh,
dope.
nice.
We went for like Black History. My dad's white, but we went for Black History Month to go see Boys
So
to Men. It was the
he's
best.
cultured.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. And Boys to Men too, I have to say, has some like classic breakup songs and songs
Yeah.
that you're hearing from a guy's perspective.
They made it cool to be soft.
And
To be soft, emotional, and black for men. They made it actually cool because everyone before that, it was like, hey, Luther Vandross and everything, but they actually made it cool to be doing that and to be listening to
And
like,
I
sad
also
R&B.
yeah, and I also think like also it okay for men to be like expressing they
Not just sexy type.
Yeah.
Who else was there around
well
that time?
Jodeci.
Okay, Jodeci. That's a different.
Yeah.
Who else? Yo, Guy. Aaron Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was back then? Yo?
Man, there's like several I'm trying to think of now, and my mind's
Brian
like coming
McKnight.
blank. Yeah.
Babyface.
Casey,
Casey
yeah,
and
Casey
JoJo. Baby, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was Jagged Edge.
Oh, Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
Cisco. What's Cisco's group?
I know,
yo?
what is Cisco's?
Drew Hill.
Drew Hill. Drew Hill has some bad ones too.
But
Okay,
anyways,
but-
yeah.
yeah.
Boys to Men was.
I don't know none of these.
I know, yo.
Sad
We're just
90s
So this
going
is- but this
OG.
is-
All the like songs where you're like, oh, that was in a black movie where there's a breakup.
Yeah.
All of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, too, I would say that even though you're saying you don't know a lot of these, I guarantee you do because several of those songs have been sampled.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
A
They're
lot of them,
sampled
yeah.
and then they come back,
What,
or
these are like-
they're
these
sampling
are like
from
90s?
songs.
Yeah.
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 Mostly 90s
Yeah.
R&B.
I don't know. Whenever I think
Bryson
about,
Tiller samples a lot of it too,
yeah,
yo.
I don't know. I guess whenever I think about that, I just think about like, I don't know, like dudes wearing like all white. They're like in the rain and stuff like
Yes,
that.
Yeah,
that's
that's-
right.
that's
That's,
the
part of
energy.
it.
Arms out,
Yes,
arms
arms
out.
out.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
really what I think about.
You gotta do
Like,
the
that's
jump.
really all I win.
You got to come down on your knees. You
That's
know what
right.
I
Yo,
mean?
you feel it.
Yeah, exactly. They're okay. They're crying in the
Yeah.
video.
Yes.
I do remember one year after a breakup, I posted my like Spotify Wrapped, and one of the top 5 songs was like one of the saddest Boyz II Men song, and what a few people were like, "Are
End
you
of the
good?"
road? Oh.
It wasn't End of the Road. I think it was Seasons of Loneliness.
Oh,
I think it was
Seasons of
that,
Loneliness.
and a few people were like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "I'm good now." Because Spotify Wrapped comes out in like November, but I was like speed running these in July, so it looks like what just happened. But I'm like, I've gotten over this period. This is an incorrect idea of what my musical taste is at this period. But it's been a hard year.
But the soundtracks get you through. Like
Yes.
music
Yeah.
is so
Need it.
Yeah,
crucial
it's true.
to kind of help you to work through those
mandatory.
emotions. What? Right? It's always mandatory. Okay, so the last question that we had come in was, will I ever find someone else?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you obviously will.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I almost
you
said
definitely will.
hopefully because I don't want to say like
Well,
you
that's
definitely
true.
will because
Yeah.
it takes a certain amount of like people are always like, well, will I find the right one? And it's like, well, to find the right one, you have to be the right one for someone else. You need
Yeah.
to be a good person to receive, and you need to love correctly to get love correctly and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it takes work on both ends and patience
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully you find that now, but it also might take time. Some people don't find the person that they feel most comfortable with until they're in their 30s or something like that. And that's
Even
fine.
even older, man. Like I
Yeah.
think if you were truly open to finding somebody, you'll find them.
Yeah.
But if you're like, have whatever reasons that you're being closed off, then it's gonna be way more challenging to actually be open to finding them.
Yeah. Because I know this question is from somebody in high school.
I know,
It's
yeah.
hard for me to be like, yes, you will. And because I know that whenever I was in grade 12, I was like, we're going to get married. We want to have 2 kids. And I like
God,
thinking
bro.
back on that now, I'm like,
Yo,
I'm a
really?
completely different person.
High school,
I have
bro.
completely different priorities. And I know a few people who are still with their high school sweetheart. And I know that takes a lot of patience and you need to grow together and everything. I don't think I would have ever had the capacity for that. So
What do you guys think is like a serious relationship in high school? Like what is deemed a serious relationship? Because I hear a lot about like not really serious relationships.
We were talking about this
we
a
were
lot
t-
on the
yeah.
last
So
episode.
What
in
is
terms of
what is deemed
situationship.
a serious relationship in terms of like how much time you're spending with them? Do they know your family? Like are those things? Does that come into play? Like meeting the parents?
Yeah, low key me and the parents.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean,
I think it
I
does. I
actually
think it
don't
depends
know.
on. I think it depends on the household because I know that for some parents who are very involved with their kid, they're like, "I need to meet everybody who you're spending time with." So blah blah blah. That's your boyfriend. But there are some people who are in such strict households
they'll
that their
hide it.
parents knowing that you're talking to a boy, even if it's not romantic, is you can get in
Yeah.
trouble for
Right.
that. So I feel like it definitely depends. Definitely depends on that. But
I honestly don't know because I don't know. I feel like serious relationships, honestly, with me, like I just have to see how you is like outside school, or I just have to see you like with like how you act like with adults. Like I definitely my last few relationships, like this is one of the biggest red flags I low key like missed like in my last relationship. So I remember, so I went over to her house one time and I saw how she was like talking with like her mom. I'm not gonna say, what race she was. She was light skinned. Anyway,
we would.
Take
I was gonna say they would, and then I
a
went,
shot.
check yourself. We would. I didn't do that, but I knew a lot of people where I was like,
no,
whoa,
light skin white mom. I'm like, oh my god, and it was like
white dad.
she was
white
like,
dad.
bro, it was like the way.
Clear.
It's like the way she was talking. If I were to talk to my black mom like that, I would get backhanded. I'm not gonna lie. And it's just like that's kind of something I kind of wish I kind of peeped earlier. I didn't really like see it enough in the past until after we broke up. Cause like it was after we broke up, I was kind of just like I was like thinking about like every single thing like she did and stuff like that, and I was like, this girl's not a good person.
Would she swear at her mom? Would she swear at her mom?
Swear at her mom, like cuss her out, like all that type of stuff. Like it's just like a whole bunch of stuff.
Did you say anything, or you just like taking it in?
I mean, I can't lie. It was like
He's just sitting there.
Are you just in shock?
I'm low-key in shock. I kind of put my AirPods in too, like a little bit too. I kind of put my AirPods in because I'm kind of. It's just like it's kind of awkward
uncomfortable,
too. Yeah, I'm like
yeah.
uncomfortable now, and it's like
But I think actually, kind of what you're pointing to there is a fact of seeing the other relationships she has in her life and how she is interacting with those people and then what it means for your relationship. So if somebody
coming
doesn't,
for you.
right? So it's like if somebody doesn't always have the most respectful relationship with people in their lives that are really close to them, not barring that, hopefully the relationship is okay. But if the relationship between, someone's parents and themselves is pretty good, or with their siblings, and you see that they're really disrespectful, then that kind of does give you a sense of how they might be in a relationship with you. And you're going to have to teach them how to like treat you and how to talk to you if this is somebody that you want to be with or choose to be with, right?
Yeah. How people treat their I mean, at that age, like parents, siblings, and your friends is the biggest idea of how you're going to be treating a relationship, especially because you're basing it on nothing, and the person also might be like, well, you're my first boyfriend, so I don't even know how I'm going to be in this respect. But you can easily see red flags with
it was like
stuff like that.
I don't know. I feel like it was like after that relationship ended and stuff like that. That's the one that I got cheated on and stuff like that. And it was just like everything was just coming to me like all at once. I was just like, damn, like there's all these signs I didn't see because I was really like in love with this girl, and it's just like, I mean, it's low key a good thing that I'm out of that now because I feel like it would have been way worse if I stayed. I mean, it was pretty bad, but I got
Okay,
out of-
so funny enough too. So I think again we're gonna play a game now, and it's actually called Red Flag. So I'm gonna read out a scenario to you guys, and you guys let me know if you think it's a red flag. If it's not, if it's a green flag, then you don't put up your hand, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so Jordan broke up with his ex because he felt drained. And the ex message saying, "You just gave up on me like everyone else."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So everybody's saying it's like that's a red flag. So do you think is Jordan responsible for how his ex feels after the breakup?
No, especially if she hits him with just like everybody else. It's like, okay, well, that's
That's the key
yeah,
one.
yeah. If she just said
You gave up on
abandoned,
me.
you gave up on me, and you never
Leave
really
it
tried.
there. Yeah, leave it there.
Okay, maybe we can talk about it. But when you said like everybody else, it's like
Dang.
we're comparing a lot of, and some people compare it to like that to like absentee parents and stuff, and it's like you cannot act like a breakup is the same as an absentee parent because that's and it is conflating trauma you've had in the past to you're just as bad as everyone else, and it's like, well, in your mind, sure, because you haven't dealt with any of that pain, so you're just
Right.
seeing it all as just pain and people hurting you, and I guess in your
Trauma.
mind I've added to that, but I would say it's a red flag because it's like you haven't dealt with any of that, because I could give you a million one reasons why it's not the same, and it's if you're at the point where you're like, hey, it feels like everyone's abandoned me, you have some serious work to do on yourself.
You
have
need
some serious work.
therapy. You need therapy.
Or
You
you
don't
need
need to
better
really-
friends too. You
Yeah.
need to be making a better social circle for yourself, because that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody.
On one person.
And I can only imagine what the
I
rhetoric was like while they were together of like, don't leave me like everybody else, because it's like,
Jesus.
whoa.
Like-
I would
Yeah.
hope that this person is just being manipulative and they don't really have all those problems, that they would actually just say that, because that's wild.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a
I mean,
wild thing to say.
I can definitely see some people. I've experienced both, where some people just fly off the handle and say that, and I've had others where they actually have dealt with a good amount of pain, and it's kind of like, don't throw me in with the lot, because I've heard about how you've been treated by other people in your life, and it's like, this isn't the same. This isn't the same thing, and I need to walk away from this, in my mind, knowing that I'm not doing the same thing. But definitely a red flag. What do you think?
Yeah, look, red flag. Cause I don't know, like a lot of these experiences, like I kind of been through them a little bit, or like I've known people that have been through them. Like I remember I was in a relationship with this one girl. She was kind of going through like a lot of stuff, like mentally and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was definitely trying to be there, like just like so I can like help her and stuff like that, because I'm just trying to be like a good boyfriend or whatnot. But it's like I was also going through stuff at the same time as well, and it was like really, I feel like it was just really, really bad at the time, where it's like I'm caring so much about how she feels and stuff like that, but when I come out with my problems, oh, it's like apparently everything's like about me now. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm always helping you with your problems. So I remember I left, like, because I was just like, it was just draining. I just don't really, I just kind of want to like be able to help myself a little bit and heal like with myself. And she was like talking about, oh, you don't even care about me. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah. I think that is a difficult thing a lot of guys deal with now, and I've talked to a lot of my students about this a lot, because I think that we kind of moved from an era where it was guys are not emotional, you don't have to be responsible for anyone's emotions, not even your own, it's fine. And now we've moved into an era of where there's a lot of media and essentially movies and media literacy that are teaching you how to be a good partner and how to be there for your girl. But there's not a lot in the same breath that teaches men how to accept help from their partners or is even showing women emotionally supporting their male partners. So I feel like a lot of guys of our age are kind of like, okay, I know that I need to be there for my girl. I need to do all these things, but we're also not taught that we deserve the same treatment. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, well, you need something? You're a man. Like, what do you need? Like, you're
Yeah,
a man.
like-
And it is kind of like, well, that's not fair, because I'm doing all of this emotional labor because it's now expected of me that I need to do that for a partner, but I haven't actually learned that I deserve that in return as well.
yeah, and like the thing is like I always peep these like after the breakup too, where it's just like there's just so many like red flags. Like I care so much about how you feel. I'm always trying to be there for you and stuff like that. You're just going on and on about like mental health. Like I get it. Like we can kind of go through things, but if it gets to a point where you're talking about, like suicide, like if it gets to a point where it's like that, it's like I can't like the most I can do is literally just say that I'm always gonna be there for you, and that if you want to talk, you can always come talk to me. But if it gets to that point, it's like you kind of need professional help. There's really not much I can do, but
You can't be a boyfriend, a best friend,
Yeah.
a therapist.
Yeah, like-
especially at your age. It's,
Yeah, like-
it's impossible.
Too
mind
many
you, we're like
expectations.
16 at the
I
time.
know.
We're
And
like 16.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
should be
like-
trusting another 16-year-old to talk you through something as severe as something like that. It's kind of like you're gonna get a really bad thing of
And mind
misinformation
you,
or something.
the crazy thing is that she was older than me too.
Oh wow.
So she was older than me, and she's coming to someone a year younger than her, like
So you
with
had
all
your-
these
you had
problems.
your
I'm
job
like,
cut out for you.
I'm like, and mind you, it's grade 11. Yo, probably the most stressful year in high
Yeah,
school.
100%.
I'm worried about all these things. I'm worried about all these classes. On top of that, I have a girl whose feelings I always have to, reinsure. I'm okay with reassuring her feelings. It was
Yeah.
like every single day she's just going on and on, just talking about like, oh, I feel this, I feel that, I feel this.
I think there's also a difference between reassuring and being there for somebody and being responsible for
Yeah.
somebody. Because it's kind of like, well, I can't handle all of these feelings.
Yeah.
I need you to take them on. And it's like, well, that's not me. I can't do therapy for you.
Yeah, it's like
Or talk you through this.
like,
That's
it gets
that's
to a
on
point where
you.
it's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
like
that's
I'll
true.
definitely be there and reassure you that everything will be all right because I wouldn't be a good boyfriend if I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, it's like there's really not much I can do
Yeah.
other
That's
than
true.
that. Yeah.
But I think actually that's like such a great point, Aaron, in terms of guys not really maybe receiving sort of the information or the message that you also need to be receiving that same support and also being
Yeah.
open to it, because I think that there is this perception that guys are always supposed to be strong, to be the leader, to be, even to, it's interesting because in one of our street interviews, you even saw one of the guys say that if a relationship has to be 50-50, he said it should be 60-40. The guy being 60, having, 60%, I guess, responsibility or not, I think in terms of like financially, and then a girl being 40%.
okay.
So it's like there's these ideas that
Wow.
guys should be the ones who are in these positions, even in high school, of being the provider, of being the leader, of sort
lot.
of, right? And it's a lot. And also it's just, again, a situation of, guys don't always hear as well that they should be supported as well. And also that you need the support. It's a mutual thing if you're in a relationship, right?
When you're at that age, you truly think you're Superman and that you can do I can do school, I can do all this, I can financially support my girlfriend, I can emotionally support I can do everything. And then when you experience a point in your life where you can't do that, it is the most humbling and
Yeah.
sometimes not that you should be embarrassed, but it's one of the most embarrassing feelings of like, well, this is what's expected of me as a man, and I can't even do the baseline. So what does that mean about me? What is my partner gonna think about me? What are the people in our lives gonna think about me? Because I'm not meeting those expectations.
Yeah, like
You were going to say something, Colin?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm just taking it in. I agree.
Okay.
I agree with what Aaron's saying.
So then even, oh, okay. So then even in terms of, kind of speaking about mental health, and even Darnel, you're saying with this ex, how it seems like, she needed a lot more support for her mental health than was able to be provided through a relationship. So how do you know when a breakup is necessary for your mental health? Which I think you kind of were talking to some of this just now, but
you have to break up for your mental health to get better.
like how do you know when,
When
this
your
relationship,
mental health is being compromised in the
Oh,
relationship.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I haven't been like obviously I still go through things right now, but I don't think I've been this happy since I got out of that relationship. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I feel like back then, like it was just a lot of things just coming at me and stuff like that. It was just like school was one of them for sure, but it's just like it was like her stuff. It was like I'm not gonna like throw her under the bus saying that she had a lot to do with my mental health. But like, I don't know, really thinking about it, there was a lot. Like it was a lot. And then on top of that, how it ended and stuff like that. And then like her coming at me saying that like, oh, you could have done this in the relationship. This probably wouldn't even happen if you were to do this. And I don't know. I guess like it really does kind of like gets you a little bit because like it's like a little bit where it's just like I could have done better, and like maybe I'm the reason why like this happened or like how it ended and stuff like that. Because that's low-key what I was going through as well. Like she was telling me that like, oh, I should have been there for her like a lot more and stuff like that. And it's just like I'm just like it did kind of get to me, but it's like at the same time it's like I haven't been this happy since I got out of that relationship. So maybe maybe her doing what she did was actually a good thing for me to be like a lot more happier now. So yeah, I guess like breakups, like they're tough, but at the same time, like it can really like boost like your mental health and stuff like that. And I've seen that like vividly for me. So yeah.
I think I would say like, what was the question again?
About how do you know when a breakup is necessary for your mental health?
Okay, so I would say like if anytime you think about the person, you have like just straight negative feelings or like anxious feelings.
Like your stomach start hurting.
Yeah, like you just don't feel light.
Yeah.
Then you know it's time to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like worrying about like what she's doing. And
Yeah,
stuff like that
if you
too,
feel like you're like trapped almost even,
Yeah.
or like controlled, or just like all those negative feelings inside. If when you think about them, you feel that you don't feel light, or like you could really, they're not making you want to be a better version of yourself, then it's time to keep it moving.
I think also when you start feeling like you're not yourself anymore and not a version of yourself that you don't like. Because I get that everyone changes in relationships, but when you start realizing like I'm not doing my hobbies anymore, I'm not seeing my friends as much, I'm doing a lot worse mentally, and you're kind of like, you know what? I think it does take a lot because of everything you got to deal with. Like I know that for you right now, it's school. For me, it's work. I'm sure it's the same thing for you. Just like the amount of responsibilities, you can easily be like, oh, I'm having a hard month or something because work. And you really do have to sit with it and go, is it really that deep with work, or am I just, because that's the natural thing. Everyone, oh, I'm stressed. Oh, it's probably the biggest thing in my life that I have to be doing. I have to be going to work. I have to be going to school. But sometimes for me, I'm like, you know what? I actually like my job and I enjoy what I'm doing. So if I'm off or if something's going on, it might be the relationship.
Yeah.
It might be the fact that
like if it gets to a point where it's like you're not doing the things you used to love doing. Cause
I
I don't know, like I remember it got to a point where it's like I didn't even enjoy like playing basketball anymore. Like I remember one of my friends that came up to me when I was like dating this girl, and they were like, yo, I can't lie, like we haven't been going out a lot like lately and stuff like that. And like I don't know, that low-key kind of hit me where it's like I'm not hanging with my friends as much and stuff like that. And I get that where it's like sometimes you do have to spend like a significant amount of time like with your like girlfriend or whatnot. You kind of have to like balance it a bit. But like, they were like, yo, I can't lie, the only time we see each other is like at school.
Yeah.
And it's just
you don't want to lose those. I get that you got to spend a good amount of time with your partner and everything, but you don't want to lose yourself and lose the other relationships because of that. Your boys are always going to have to get used to spending less time with you, but they should never have to get used to spending no time with you. And it's like, you only see me the bare minimum, which is at school, bro. That's not
like I'm not on the game no more, bro. Like they're saying all that. I'm not on the game no more. We don't go out to go hoop
Good for them
more.
for actually saying that to you.
Like they said that, and then mind you, it was actually a week after they said that. That's when I found out the news that I was getting cheated on.
Wow.
So
it's good that they communicated that to you, because it's them come from a place of like, bro, we miss you, and like what's going on. This is from a point of concern.
Yeah, that's good, homies.
A lot of people would just be like, you know what, like bump this guy, like okay, he's doing something, whatever. But it's good to actually be like, you know what, something else might be going on here. You know, like maybe he's not spending time with us, and that's not his choice. Maybe he's run out of energy, and maybe it's not personal or something like that.
Yeah, it was draining.
Yeah.
Man, and I wish, like, I feel like these conversations so need to happen, and I wish we had more time, but we're already actually at the end of the time that we have for today. And so I really want to thank Darnel, Aaron, Colin for coming out, talking to us today on the Real-ationships podcast. And hopefully, we can kind of do this again, because I think, again, breakups are something that happens and is something that I think we should always kind of have the space to talk about, so that we can kind of move through it in a more healthy way. So then we're able to go into different relationships, or even just stay by ourselves, but not lose ourselves in the process of kind of having those experiences. So I hope everybody keeps following us on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, we'll be on again for next episode. So thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks to today's Hair Culture for hosting us today and kind of having it at the barbershop. All right.
All right.
Great.
Peace.
Thanks.